In team games, it's not uncommon to see the uncultured swine of PUBG down someone and then just immediately expend every ounce of effort they have in their little black withered hearts, killing you immediately. Well, it's actually very often a bad idea. For lots of reasons. First, it can cost you unnecessary ammo. It's not a big deal, but sometimes if you've just dropped from the plane, maybe it can be. You know, you don't have a lot to go around. Second is time. If you're in groups and you're shooting at someone, even if you down them, chances are there's like 1 to 3 other people who all know exactly where you're at and want to kill you. That extra second that you're spending killing that downed guy could be better spent shooting at people who can still shoot back at you. And finally, the biggest deal, in my opinion, mercy. People actually appreciate mercy sometimes, more than you might think. If you don't execute that person you just downed, then their team will be significantly less likely to execute your team. Honestly, I'd say it's 50-50. At least until the immediate threat has been dealt with. The benefit of this is that, like, if you win and kill all of them, your mutual respect for one another will allow the winner to pick each other back up and continue playing with all their teammates. But if you execute that first guy, then of course they're gonna say, shit, well, I guess we're just quitting after this one, so let's just try to bring them down with us, and they'll just suicide themselves into your limping body to secure the kill. At least, that's what I do, because fuck people who execute you unnecessarily. Now, don't get me wrong, if there's any chance at all that they can be revived and brought back into the fight, of course you should kill them. Obviously. Or if they, you know, if you need loot on their body or whatever, then yeah, I'm not saying live and be nice to people. I'm saying let them live when it increases your own chances of survival. I literally can't stress this enough. For the love of God, don't shoot at passing cars. Just don't. Just don't. I punish people for this so often. Shooting at a passing car is like saying, hey, I'm here and I'm bad at the game. Please reposition wherever you like because you're in a fucking car and then engage me at your leisure. It's just, it's the worst risk versus reward scenario you could hope for. You have a tiny chance of killing the person in the car, people in the car, whatever, and a huge chance that the driver or anyone else will hear you and then kill you from a position that you weren't expecting. And if you're in a car and an idiot shoots at you, just drive on ahead, just barely out of engine noise range, which really isn't that far, not as far as you might think, and then stop the car with spacebar, not holding back, letting it roll to a stop so it doesn't make the tires squeal. Just get out, find decent cover, and then wait for the idiot to come to you. Easy kill, free shit. It's great. I do this all the fucking time. I swear to God, don't shoot at passing cars unless, you know, you need the car to survive, like out in the blue or something, and it's worth the risk. But if you're just doing it for the fuck of it, you're gonna die. You're gonna get fucking punished. You're gonna die. Stop doing it. Probably one of my favorite things to do in PUBG, because you get the rewards of catching them with their pants down, knowing definitively that you outplayed them. So this is less effective in third person, but it still has its place. Basically, try to avoid playing the hide-and-shoot game wherever possible. Fuck that. I'm not about that. When you see an opportunity for it, try to make them think you're just being a very timid mole in a game of whack-a-mole, but then sneak out of there and work your way around them. This sounds like it would only be useful in rare scenarios, but it comes up surprisingly often. In cities with buildings, or behind trees, or if you have high ground, there's lots of times that you can sneak away unnoticed and as quickly as you can, work your way around them, and then shoot them in the fucking back. The key here is to be quick. This works best when the enemy is healing. In their mind, you're still around the same position, even though you might be halfway to their position at that point. They expect you to still be hiding in your building, or your tree or whatever, or maybe running away from them since they don't see you. Stop killing people. Seriously, give it a shot. This is, sadly, what I've found to be one of the most effective ways to win PUBG. Put your bloodlust on hold and just try to survive. Don't kill people just because you can, and actually retreat from every fight that you can. Especially ones where you can't loot the guy. Hell, even ones where the fight's just taking too long. I'll probably do a separate video on this, but really, the best way to win is to avoid combat and avoid people as much as possible. You don't really need that much to win a game. I've won games using as little as 5 bullets, and others have won using less. The fact of the matter is that PUBG is about the journey, not the destination. The fun is in fighting people on the way to the circle, not really about winning. You might see online people saying that keeping their gun on automatic all the time is the best way to play. Well, I'm sorry, but those people are wrong. There's everyone else who says that keeping their gun on single all the time is the best way to play. I'm sorry, those people are also wrong. You can change modes for a reason. There is no all the time best. It's because different situations require different modes. And yeah, if you're really well practiced, you can probably sit on automatic all the time and only fire single shots with quick clicks. But as someone with literally tens of thousands of hours in first-person shooters and about 400 hours in PUBG, to me, it's still not worth keeping it on automatic for single clicks, because when you're sniping, you accidentally fire off an occasional accidental shot in there, giving yourself extra recoil and fucking up the flow of your bullets, and it's just not worth it. Just press B, just flip it over to single, why not? That building, right there on the edge of the circle, it's occupied. Yeah. And that building on the edge of it's occupied. And that building on the other, it's occupied. I don't care where the circle is, where the plane's path was, or where you hear gunshots out. That house that you need to go to get cover just inside the circle, just to heal up, it's already occupied. I guarantee it. There's someone fucking in there. Like, I know sometimes it's not true, but you should play like it's absolutely always true, because it is pretty fucking often, even when you don't think it is. Like, if you don't hear gunshots or don't see anyone, it doesn't fucking matter. Someone's probably in there. And if you are the first person to get to that house in a plot of prime real estate, you better put up a no soliciting sign, because you're about to get a lot of motherfuckers knocking on your door. It's pretty fucking common to see the circle closing in on a nice, big, open field. This is basically a nightmare, because there's not much skill left at that point. You just have to hope the circle happens to favor your rock, so people can all kill each other trying to get there each time the circle closes. Well, fuck that. I ain't having that. I have shit luck. The circle never picks me, so I make my own luck. If you see the circle might end up in an open field, take a vehicle with you. The bigger the better, and use that bitch as your own personal mobile cover. I know, it sounds stupid. It's late game, you're driving on flat ground with 9 other people who want you dead. It's suicide, right? Well, sure, someone might shoot at you, but if they do, suddenly everyone else knows where they are. Most people at this point want to win, and they do so by remaining unseen. The second someone shoots at you, everyone else knows where they are, and they're dead. So they just kinda don't. It feels like magic driving among all these people laying in fields that they just don't take shots at you. So you take your Jeep to the part of the circle with the least cover, park it, and then hide behind it. When the circle closes, you move your Jeep in a little bit and let everyone else fight over the same 3 trees and a rock on the other side. And if you're in a squad, even better, 2 Jeeps and a rock make a corral that's safe from fire on 3 sides, which is fucking gold in late game. You should never stand still. Not when looting, not when healing, and if you can help it, not when aiming. Of course, running and gunning is wildly inaccurate, so myself and many others have gotten into the practice of taking a step, taking a shot, taking a step, taking a shot, taking a step, etc., etc. That's how you should probably be shooting at medium range. Headshots are fucking brutal, and the harder it is to hit your head, the better off you'll be. An extension of this rule is never prone. Like, just never fucking prone. Just don't prone. Proning makes you basically stationary, and, you know, sure, there's a few situations where it's acceptable, but unless you know for sure that proning will put you behind the cover you need to survive, then you want to stay mobile. In fact, PUBG is one of the few games where even though crouching and proning are in the game, they really don't improve your aim that much, so you usually want to be as upright as possible. Even crouching during a fight just makes you a slow-moving target. Never standing still is about being a jittery motherfucker who's hard to get headshots on, but staying on the move is more of a tactical approach to engagements. Once you've fired your first bullet, everyone within earshot knows where you are, and very often they'll come looking, especially if you're out in the wilderness. So keep that in mind whenever you shoot. Every time you shoot, keep that in mind. And after you've fired, you know, your first 5 to 6 bullets, be ready to book it, even if you didn't kill the guy. The longer you keep shooting from the same position, the more likely someone is to come shoot you in the back. There are 3 important questions you should ask yourself before you ever pull the trigger. Number 1 is, where is their cover? If I start shooting at them right now, where are they likely to run, and do I have enough time to kill them before they get there? Remember that an enemy who's made it to cover basically turns a free kill into a coin toss. You don't want that. You don't want to be risking your life. So whenever you can, don't take the shot right away. If you see someone who doesn't see you, wait until they're far enough from cover that you can kill them before they get there. But remember, an enemy with no cover is most likely to look for you and start shooting. So your next question should be, where is my cover? And if you just fuck everything up, like I do very often, you're not just stuck out in the open. Instead, you want to make sure you've got a plan B, a place where you can hide. And if it turns out you bit off more than you can chew, you need to figure out, where do we go? Where do we go from here? If you really don't like your chances in that fight, you're gonna want an escape route. Conversely, if you're fighting someone and they manage to slip away, you should probably know their escape route. Know where you and they are going. This is usually determined by the location of the circle. For example, if you're behind the blue wall, you probably don't want to pick a fight like this guy did. My escape route consisted of a nice safe hillside where only he could see me from a distance that clearly he couldn't fucking hit me from. Pretty hopeless. I knew where his escape route was, so I cut him off and killed him, even though it happened like 2 minutes later. If he had thought about our escape routes ahead of time, he might not have taken that shot. At least, not until he was close enough to secure the kill. Here's a fucking bonus tip for you. If there's ever a person trying to melee you as you land your parachute, just teleport behind them and run to the nearest gun. That's all. That's all you gotta fucking do. Just tell and then kill. Fucking Christ.